Hey guys! Alright, so the sun just came out. I haven't gotten started on doing anything today, but I wanted to do something special today and just spend a little bit of time going down in my shop and showing you a little bit of behind the scenes. So let's go do that. So, you've all seen the kitchen, and this is the basement door over here. I'm very fortunate to have a shop in my basement. And the basement is, well, it's a typical basement when kids are at college. This is just a storage area for the most part. That's old furniture that I took out of my son's room. That used to be mine when I was a kid. So that was pretty cool to hang on to that. Doesn't cost us anything to keep it. Of course, you probably can guess what those cabinets are from. They're from my IKEA hack platform bed. And I put those down here because, well, we didn't want to get rid of the bed necessarily. The cabinets are still good. So we hung on to them. I think I have another project in the works that might take advantage of those. Well, I don't know. You'll have to keep up watching for that. More storage stuff. And then we're going to walk over to this side is where the shop is. All right, as you've seen in so many of my videos, this is my mess of my shop. So I'm taking this kind of as a before because I plan on revamping it. And I'll tell you a little bit about some of the tools that I have and what my plans are for the future. But of course, one of the tools you see me use the most is the table saw. And this is a Craftsman table saw that I've had 30 years or so. And it's really solid, good solid top. That's the most important thing. I've thought about replacing it because it's not the safest saw in the world and it doesn't have a good fence. This is a really crappy fence. Newer ones are much better. But it also doesn't have a riving knife behind the blade. It just has this, the blade guard, and that's really not a good thing. In fact, I almost lost a finger from this table saw. Can you see right there? I cut off about 3/4 of the tip of my finger. And I even have the exact date that it happened. I saved the blade. I retired the blade October 20th, 1990. And the watch I was wearing at the time, and there's still a blood stain on it. So I leave those things there as a bit of a reminder to respect my shop tools. So that's the table saw, and I built this base for it. It came with just 4 metal legs, and dust used to get everywhere. So I built this base for it a long time ago, and the top drawer just collects sawdust, and the bottom drawer has just extra blades and things like that. Next, you'll see this miter saw. I use this an awful lot too, and it's a 10-inch miter saw, nothing fancy, not very expensive. It's a Craftsman as well. And over here is a bandsaw, 12-inch bandsaw. That's also Craftsman. You can see I do have a lot of Craftsman shop tools for a couple reasons. Number one, they were inexpensive and you could get them on sale. They were accessible because there was a Sears near me. And at one point, my dad was working for Sears, so he got a discount. So that's one of the reasons why I have so many Craftsman tools. And once you get a tool, even if it's not the best, just like my table saw, you wind up keeping it and using it for decades. Decades go by. So the rest is a mess, and that's one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to do this, because I really want to revamp all of this. I have so much stuff in here that I haven't touched. Random wood in the back corner, and that's not good to leave it on a concrete floor. There is a planer back there. You can see it on the floor right there. Got that from Sears on some probably major clearance. Somebody might have returned it. I don't remember, to tell you the truth. I have random boxes of stuff. This is, cables from the entertainment center. When you're a handy dad, you've always got to have things like this around too. I don't throw any of these things away. This bin right here is full of them. I call those wall warts. And whenever somebody needs a power supply because something burns out, that's where I go. Other random stuff. Another interesting thing. So you hang on to stuff. This is a DVD player. Like, it still works. And there's another one over there. But it's like I hang on to these things thinking that I'm going to use them again. And I never do. So that's what I'm in the process of revamping and getting rid of a lot of this stuff. Here's another thing for an example. Who's going to use a double cassette player anymore? It's got to go in the garbage. And up here, this is interesting from my past. I used to fly remote control model airplanes. And there's a kit there that's never been built. And I just saved it. I don't know why. I'm never going to build it. Now I'd get a drone before I would fly that. Up here we have a train board. It's HO Trains that my son and I were working on for a while. You can see we actually did some scenery. That's a tunnel made out of foam. But it's sat, you know, life gets in the way. They go off to college. And now it's just a junk collector. So I need it out of my shop. And then, let's see, over here we have my drill press. Yet another Craftsman tool. This is a floor standing one. They also have a bench top one. And you know what? Whatever space you got, go with what you can afford. But it's not the best, but it certainly does the job. Over in this space, I used to have a lathe, also a Craftsman. And I got rid of that because I was not using it. I just didn't have a really good way to sharpen my tools, so I decided, and I wasn't really planning on doing a lot with it, so it's just not my thing. The rest of it, that's my security system over there. That's where I keep paint. This is the furnace. And I know I've been told before that shop dust and furnaces don't mix very well, but I really don't have much of a choice other than to wall it off. So I got plans to put storage over here and get rid of them out of the corner over there. So that's what my plan is. Now, before we go on to the bench is kind of like the magic behind the scenes here of Handy Dad TV. So you ready for this? Because this is a reveal. That's my studio. My camera right there is a GoPro. That's right, GoPro hanging on the wall. And that's my monitor so I could see what I'm getting and where it's positioning. And that bench has been there for a long time, and I keep a lot of, you know, random hand tools and things like that up there. I have some studio lights and some fluorescent lights and some acquired LEDs. Now underneath is where I have some more tools though. So let's see. Under here I have a stationary belt sander, and that I've had a while. Probably got that on clearance. Yes, it's Craftsman. Some paint supplies, toolboxes. This is my random orbit sander. That one's not Craftsman, that's Makita. You can tell by the blue. I also have a Makita screw gun for drywall screws. And that's a Makita jigsaw as well. But I do have a hammer drill, 2.5-inch hammer drill that is Craftsman. Down here is a Sawzall, reciprocating saw, and a very old circular saw, handheld circular saw that I really should replace. It's older than I am. It was my dad's, but you know, you get that kind of thing and you hang on to it. There's a cordless saw. I have a Milwaukee drill, which is just a die-hard thing. I love it. And a Ryobi scroll saw, which I don't use very often, but it's there when I need it. And then just, you know, your random stuff. Block planes. I do have a Porter cable router up there. You can barely see it, but I do have a Porter cable router and a belt sander and some supplies and wood chisels. There is a dovetail jig back here. I've used that a couple times. That's pretty cool too. And this is a Barrister bookcase, which is antique. I got it for free, and hey Jamie, I got it for free, and I don't know, I might restore it someday, but that's where I keep all my manuals for things. I'm great. How are you? I keep manuals for things and just random stuff in it if I want to keep it away from dust. And these are, of course, some scroll saw projects that I will probably replicate at some point. But there you go. So that is my shop tour. And like I said, it's kind of a behind the scenes. I wanted you guys to see what it looked like before, and I'm going to be revamping this over time and cleaning a lot of crap out. In fact, I'm headed over to the dump today. That's one of the things that I'm doing, and I'm going to be getting rid of some of this stuff. So thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing. Appreciate it.